Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another installment of our daily devotions that we do here at Woodlawn. This devotion is being prepared for broadcast on February 28th, which is a Monday. We have come to the end of February, and it's 2022, by the way, if you're watching in the future. And if you are watching us prior to Wednesday, which will be the 2nd of March, that is Ash Wednesday, and we do have an Ash Wednesday service that evening at 7 p.m., and you are welcome to come up to Woodlawn. We're on 200 North Woodlawn Avenue in Lake City, Iowa. We'd love to have you with us, 7 p.m. Be there if you can, please. Today we're talking about the Gospel of Matthew, and we're in the 5th chapter. We're looking at verses 21 to 26. We just got done with Jesus talking about that he did not come to abolish the law, but to fulfill the law, to complete. Remember, not to fill up, but to complete. He is the utter completion. He is the fulfillment of the law. And so he ended that section that we ended with on Friday. For I tell you, unless your righteousness exceeds that of the scribes and the Pharisees, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. And he says that, and then he enters into these next few things that I think we'll be working on this whole week. I'm not sure if we'll spill into Monday of next week, but the rest of this, and this is we're in the Sermon on the Mount, and pretty much the rest of this week we're dealing with these exceeding. Jesus is ratcheting up rather than ratcheting down, which we like to think of Jesus doing. He's actually ratcheting things up, making things harder on us. So the first bit we are talking about is chapter 5, verses 21 to 26. And it is concerning anger, something that we all have problems with. If you want to be honest with yourself, or most of us have problems with, or many of us perhaps, I have a problem with it. I confess that is sin. Let's look at 21 to 26. You have heard that it was said to those of ancient times, you shall not murder. This is one of the 10 Commandments, remember? And whoever murders shall be liable to judgment. But I say to you that if you are angry with a brother or sister, you will be liable to judgment. And if you insult a brother or sister, you will be liable to the council. And if you say, you fool, you will be liable to the hell of fire. So when you are offering your gift at the altar, if you remember that your brother or sister has something against you, leave your gift there before the altar and go first to be reconciled to your brother or sister, and then come back and offer your gift. Come to terms quickly with your accuser while you're on the way to court with him, or your accuser may hand you over to the judge and the judge to the guard, and you will be thrown into prison. Truly, I tell you, you will never get out until you have paid the last penny. Okay, this is within a bigger theme that we're going to spill over into chapter 6 with. There's a lot here about forgiveness and reconciliation. I have always been a proponent, I shouldn't say always, I have long, for about the last 11 years, nearly 11 years, 10 and a half, I would be, to be really precise, a proponent of the greatest attribute of God is that desire for reconciliation. And not only a desire for reconciliation from God to us, but us to one another. That God wants us to come together and to seek and to diminish our anger with one another. Easier said than done, of course, and Jesus is somewhat part of this. He is pointing that out, that the mode of your manner of thought is no different than when you're thinking murderous thoughts than when you're conducting murderous acts. So whoever murders will be held liable to judgment. That's a 10 commandment. Thou shalt not murder, shalt not kill, as sometimes translated. Murder is more precise. But I say to you that if you're angry with your brother or sister, you've already broken that commandment because you want to harm them. And when you're driving in traffic, have you ever been so angry with the guy that just cut you off in traffic that you're not angry with them? He goes on to say that if you've done this, you are guilty to, or you are liable to the council. And then he talks about the hell of fire. That word that they translate hell there, actually, the word that whenever they translate hell when Jesus is speaking, it's always Gehenna. Okay, Gehenna is an actual place. It is south of Jerusalem in the valley of Hinnom, the Hinnom Valley. And it is the place where there was worship of the god Baal during ancient times and different periods of time during the history of Israel. And so the Jews really despised this place, and it was at this time of Jesus used as a garbage dump. And so they would be burning the garbage out there, and there would be creatures out there, and maybe not necessarily predators, but scavengers at least of animals out there eating the trash and looking for food in the trash. And you might have the beggars, people that had no means, out there digging for trash and gnashing of teeth and the wailing. It's not a good place to be. It's an unpleasant place to be. So if you don't get reconciled with your brother or sister, this is the kind of life you're going to have, this miserableness. Okay. So when you are offering your gift at the altar, you're going before God. When you're coming up to God and you realize that I have not forgiven my brother or sister, they have something against me or I have something against them, I need to go and first be reconciled to them before I can appear before God. Before I can appear with any sense of righteousness, I need to go and be reconciled. And of course, there's a point to that. We can't ever get to that point. None of us are completely reconciled. Sadly, we've all had family or friends or adversaries that have passed from this world that we didn't reconcile with prior to their passing. And so we are in this constant state of brokenness, that inability to ever go to them and patch up whatever amends we need to make, whatever amends we need to make for our brokenness. So we do want to be on guard. Time is of the essence, and that'll become more clear in chapter 6 as we get going. So we're going to end there. Tomorrow we will pick up with, I'm not sure if I'm going to pick up 2 parts or just 1 part. We'll find out tomorrow. A little suspense for you there. So with that, have a blessed day. Forgive others. Be reconciled with others. Don't be angry. And please be a blessing to someone today. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.